Today on 2+U Nevada.
It's really tied into how the Earth is orbiting around the sun. So if you imagine the sun and then you have the Earth going around it.
The first day of winter is this weekend, but what exactly is the winter solstice? An astrophysicist from the University of Nevada joins us to explain this phenomenon.
Story times, craft programs, and we've got craft programs for kids, teens, and seniors, so we cover all the bases.
If you're looking for activities to keep the kids busy during this winter break, we sit down with Jamie from the Washoe County Library System to highlight the dozens of free, family-friendly events coming up in your neighborhood. Later in the show, a recipe you won't want to miss: how to make this mint chocolate cookie bark. You're watching 2+U Nevada. Doesn't that just sound phenomenal? The kids and I are going to have to try it, and if we do, we'll be sure to do a Try It Tuesday and let you know how it goes. If you make a go at it, you send us your tries. Speaking of food, we have a food-filled show this afternoon with some behind-the-scenes dishes traveling around the country to see a couple of the best restaurants. University of Nevada alum Nate Burleson takes us to Hawaii. We'll also head to Nashville. But before we go any further, I need to acknowledge 2+U Nevada's #1 fan, my mom. Today is her birthday, and for anyone who knows what it's like to have a December birthday, you tend to get overshadowed by the holidays. So, on this day, if you'll let me, I have to say happy birthday, Mom. She is perpetually 39 years old. This morning on the phone, my kids asked her if she was 40, and she said, nope, I'm 39. We love you, and every year you are here with us is a gift. We have a fantastic show for you today. We are thrilled to have you joining us for 2+U Nevada. You are watching 2+U Nevada, and we have the smartest person in the room joining us today, Dr. Richard Plotkin. He is a professor in the physics department at the University of Nevada, Reno, to talk to us about a big event this Sunday, the winter solstice.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for joining us this afternoon.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
You know, all I know about the winter solstice is that it is the longest night, shortest day.
Yep.
And then winter starts.
Yep,
so,
exactly it.
From your standpoint, because you really are the expert on talking about astrophysicists, that word, and space, what is the winter solstice?
Yeah, so exactly as you said, it's the shortest day of the year where we have the most darkness and the least amount of sunlight. So today I always look forward to it because after the solstice, we start getting longer and longer days.
Right.
So we're always in a better mood after that. But what's happening in space is it's really tied into how the Earth is orbiting around the sun. So if you imagine the sun and then you have the Earth going around it,
Yeah.
it goes around once per year. But the North Pole of our Earth is not actually pointing straight up. It's tilted a bit, about 23.5 degrees, so about that much.
Okay.
And so right now, today, we're pointed away, as most of it will ever point, away from the sun. And so what that causes is the sun to appear very low in the sky. It's not hitting the Earth very directly, the sunlight. So that's why we're starting to feel colder. And that causes the day to be shorter. We have more night. And then if we wait 6 months, we get to the equinox, and then we'll get to the summer solstice where we have the most sunlight.
Okay.
So it's really tied into that tilt, which is the same thing that causes our seasons and why, things vary over the year.
Okay, and then winter solstice here, and the longest night here is the exact opposite on the other side of the Earth, just because
That's
of that
right.
whole 6-month circle.
Yeah. So 6 months later, we're in summer. We're pointed towards the sun. We have longer days. But if you live south of the equator, you'd have the exact opposite.
Okay. Well, and then how is it that solstices are measured, or how is it that you in your profession look at this event and are like, okay, this is super cool, and this is how we came to be. This is how it became measured.
That's a good question. So there's different ways you could do it. One is just counting the number of daylight hours you have. When is sunrise, when is sunset, how much time in between. When that's the shortest number, that's going to be the winter solstice. The other thing you could do, if you were to go outside at noon every single day, and you do this for a whole year, so you have a lot of patience, right? But you go to the same place with a clear look on the horizon, you'll see the sun at noon. And on the winter solstice, it's going to be the lowest part of the sky you'll ever see it. So you measure how high above the horizon it is. And then the next day, it's going to be a little bit higher at noon. Until you get to the summer solstice, it's going to be as high as it possibly could be. And then it's going to repeat itself until you get 6 months later back to the winter solstice again. So the sun kind of moves up and down how high it is above the horizon over the course of the year. And if you can measure when the sun is the lowest it's ever going to be over that year, that becomes our winter solstice.
So how did you become a professional in this, or how did you, like, what was it that got you interested?
It is as simple as looking up. So I grew up in upstate New York, had these beautiful dark skies. And I just remember being able to see the Milky Way with the night sky, seeing, planets and stars and constellations. And something was in there that triggered me. And I didn't really know until I got to college and high school. And I was like, oh, this is what I want to do. I want to study space. I remember my mom tells me this story when I was very young. They took us to the planetarium and they weren't going to let us in because I was a baby. I was going to cry. Apparently I was just quiet the whole time. And I just loved it. Oh. And I still feel that now. I go to the Fleischmann Planetarium on UNR University of Veterinari's campus. And I love, there's some feeling I have in there. I love being up there and just seeing what the universe has to offer for us.
Well, and what I love is you are now sharing that love. We were talking in my office before we sat down here, and you were talking about how you are bringing a program to get middle schoolers to the Fleischmann Planetarium. Will you discuss that?
Yeah. So we have some funding from the National Science Foundation to do some science, but also we're doing outreach with it. And it's been a great collaboration we're doing at University of Veterinary. So I'm working with the Fleischmann Planetarium. We're also working with a program in the College of Education called Nevada Teach, where they're training high school teachers to put them into Reno classrooms. And we work together. We're working on lesson plans. We go to middle schools in Reno. We're also going virtually across the state. So we've been going to White Pines County, where we have ever been to Great Basin National Park out there?
I haven't. I need to.
You need to. It's beautiful. Because we have a telescope out there that we use at the university, and we're working with the national park, and we're working with their connections to give our lessons out there. And starting this year, we're going to be able to bring Reno, hopefully middle schoolers, up to Reno's campus, University of Reno, up to the planetarium, and we'll be able to do lessons for them and give them sky shows and show them movies. And it should be a lot of fun.
I just love your passion for space. So thank you so much for bringing space to our children too. And you're also a recruiter for the University of Nevada.
For the physics department.
For the physics department. Yes. So give us your spiel about the physics department.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So we have about 100 students majoring in physics, and we have probably about 40 or 50 graduate students trying to get their PhD, trying to basically do what I do or go into national labs and that stuff. We do a lot of different types of teaching, a lot of different types of research. I'm looking at space. We have people who are doing things in labs like shining lasers into really dense materials to see what happens in the conditions that are close to the core of our Earth or the size of other planets. Things are related to how you can make power through fusion. So how can we, have clean energy in these types of things?
How is the focus on STEM in younger education helped to promote programs like yours?
Yeah, it's so important. It starts so early, all levels, from preschool, middle school, elementary school, all the way up. So there's just every level, anytime you get someone engaging in science. Mm-hmm. And even if they don't become scientists, right, these are things that are going to be important for anything. I'm sure as a journalist, you're always applying the scientific method in different ways, and
we try.
Trying to get a story.
We try. But as a parent too, because we were just talking, and your kids are 7 and 9. Mm-hmm. So as a parent, what can we do at home to get our kids interested in space?
Yeah. So books are great. We watch a lot of documentaries. And not even documentaries, just cartoons, things I love Storybots, something we're watching where there's lots of songs about science. Different podcasts, and also just bring them up to University of Reno. We have several different museums up there. So many things going on in Reno in terms of science outreach and just curiosity. Try to be in tune with what your kids are interested in, and just follow that little thread into it. Let them lead you. It's
fantastic advice. fantastic advice this afternoon, Rich. Thanks so much for joining us.
Yep.
You're watching
thank
2 Plus U Nevada. You are watching 2 Plus U Nevada, and I'm so excited to have Jamie Hemingway back from the Washoe County Library System. You're the public information officer, but you're just a really cool person. So we're going to have you keep coming back. Okay?
Love it.
A lot of fun events, especially as families are looking to fill the winter break and take a look into January and February. So I couldn't get over, you showed me this Explorer magazine, and the last 6 pages are all pages of events that the library system has going on in our community.
Absolutely. So we have the Explorer magazine comes out quarterly. Our winter edition is out now. Pick it up at any library. And yeah, like you mentioned, those last few pages, they're kind of like a TV guide of library events. So day by day, and it's not even inclusive because we didn't have the space, but it's got most of our really fun, super cool events that we have planned at each library. So,
and I love the library. It's where my son loves to go. He'll say, "Hey Mom, we got to go back to the library." And I'm like, "You got to find the library book before we go back to return it." But you have some really cool holiday events coming up right now in the month of December. What do you have?
we do. So for December, we're doing a few things the last appearance of Santa is coming on Friday at the Duncan Traynor Community Library, 3:30 p.m. So that's happening. But we also have fun things like an ongoing gift wrapping station. I think that's at the Sierra View Library. So you just pop in, wrap a gift with the supplies provided. So we've got tons of fun little activities. There are craft programs. And I know we're getting close to the beginning of the year. So we got a lot coming for January as well.
Right. And after the holidays, like you said, after Christmas, going into January and February, there are so many events that you have that are outlined in your Explorer magazine. Kind of talk to folks about how the website and Explorer magazine are really the best touch points for people to find out about these family-friendly and what I love, free events.
Yeah, absolutely. So we work hand in hand. We push the Explorer out. We have the print copies available, but we also have digital copies available for download. So, we know some people like to have the paper in hand. Some people prefer to download it, have it on their phones. You can have it both ways. And so we have that available on our website at washoelibrary.org/explorer. We also have a wonderful calendar of events on our website that does list every single event. It's all inclusive. So you can go to that calendar of events and limit your events. If you just want to find events at your favorite library, you can do that, or events for one specific audience or age level. So lots of options.
It really takes a lot to put events on, right? It takes a lot of organization. And who's responsible at each library to come up with the ideas for these events and to then host people at these events? How does that work?
Yeah, so it's really interesting. We have a youth services and library events team. They're overseen by a couple of folks in library administration, but they're a team. So we have representatives at each main library that work together to come up with these events. So, they tend to we'll do system events like we do. We work a lot with the Pioneer Center. So we have a series of events coming from them in January and February. Lots of great performers coming, free musical performances. So those are coming up. It's Pioneer Center Youth Youth Series that we have coming up. And then we also partner with the Nevada Historical Society, Historic Reno Preservation Society. So we're working together with all these different groups. And yet you've also got the branches tailoring specific events for their patrons. So, story times, craft programs, and we've got craft programs for kids, teens, and seniors. So we cover all the bases.
I absolutely, and again, this, and I've said it, in fact, already, but I love the library system. And as people are seeing their discretionary funding, tighten up, or it's the holiday season. So if you're wanting to read a book and you don't have necessarily the funds to go buy that brand new book, I think people have forgotten what a phenomenal resource the libraries are, our neighborhood libraries. And even like, I love your Libby app, right? So if you don't know about this, if you are a digital book reader, you download the Libby app and you tie it to your Washoe County Library card, and then you can digitally download books. So I'll be awake at 2 a.m, and finish a book and be like, oh, I can just go ahead and check out a new one. The library offers so much for our community.
We do, and we've really had to grow with the times. We have print books, absolutely. We can save you a ton of money. I know some of those hardbacks are $30, $40. You can put it on hold, place a hold with your library card and get it. After waiting a little bit, you'll get it for 3-week checkup period and no late fines anymore. So huge bonus there. Yeah. But I know a lot of people really prefer to read on their devices. So we've got thousands upon thousands of books available for download through the Libby app, audiobooks and ebooks. So yeah, we've got people covered.
Well, Jamie, thank you so much for joining us this afternoon. And again, can I grab this magazine out of your hands?
Absolutely.
Super cute, by the way. What is this little guy's name?
So that's Egbert. He's a little chick. He's a crocheted chick that just showed up one day at the Northwest Reno Library, and they've made him their unofficial mascot. And we made him the cover star, and we also hid him on every page of the winter issue of the Explorer. So we got a little seek and find going on. There are 24 Egberts, and we challenge folks, get your kids looking at this and see if they can spot one on every page.
It's hard. I was looking in my office. It's so hard, but you can find the Egberts. Pick up the Explorer mag at your local library for you to be able to see all of these events, like pages of events for you and your family to attend. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm keeping this, just so you know, so that I can hunt for Egbert throughout the day and see what to take my kids to.
I love it. Thank you so much for having us here.
You're watching 2+ Nevada. You are watching 2+ Nevada, and I'm so excited to have Carrie Brown back joining us from Options Veterinary Care. You're the clinic manager. Carrie, thank you for being here.
Oh, thank you so much for having me.
I absolutely love what you do. And if you don't remember from our last segment, explain to people what Options Veterinary Care offers in our community.
Yeah, we're Northern Nevada's first and only nonprofit vet clinic. We provide affordable, low-cost veterinary care to anyone in need. The majority of our clients are seniors who are on Social Security or other limited incomes, and we really rely on donors to help us help them. And this allows us to provide necessary vet care for these animals who would otherwise have to go without.
And you just celebrated a huge anniversary.
We did 5 years. Each year, I'm so excited today. We've been able to help over 8,000 animals in our community each year that we've been open.
That's so fantastic. And with your business model, being able to help those who would otherwise maybe choose to not eat in order to pay for their animal to get the care that they need, or have to adopt out their animal because they can't afford some care. There are so many things. I was going to say there are so many options now. Now the options is here in our community.
Yes. I hear sad stories every single day from our clients about how much their animals mean to them and how much these animals are part of their lives. They're their family members. They're their emotional support. And when they get sick, they not only worry about their animal, but worry about how they're going to afford the veterinary cost. And thanks to donors, we're able to provide the necessary care to keep their pets healthy and with the people who love them.
And nothing speaks better to the donors out there, anyone who wants to give to Options, than a success story. And you've got some great success stories too.
There are tons of them. People can check out our website. We love posting our happy stories on Facebook, and so you can check us out there. But two of my favorite, more recent stories are this sweet lady, Theodora, she's a senior. She unfortunately experienced recent homelessness, and she had her cats with her. One of her cats developed an upper respiratory infection, so a kitty cold, but was not feeling well. And fortunately, someone told her about options, and she came into us. We were able to treat her pet and get it the medication it needed to get it feeling better. And that's all thanks to donors. Transportation was an issue for Theodora, but she managed to make it back for a recheck, and her cat Boy is doing great.
See, I love that. I love that. And then we just recently had Giving Tuesday, of course, the Tuesday after Thanksgiving.
Yes.
And you had a match program, right?
We did, yes. And again, that was hugely successful. We're really grateful for all of our donors that allow us to keep helping people and pets. And another animal that funds like that really helped us help was Angel. Angel is this beautiful husky. She's full of love and now full of energy, but her owner, Billy, he's a senior who's got some disabilities, and he got very concerned when Angel stopped eating. She became more lethargic, didn't have a lot of energy. We got her in and we diagnosed her with pyometra, which is a potentially fatal uterine infection. Thanks to our surgeons, we were able to get her in for surgery right away, and she is doing great and is still the love of Billy's life. So
that's fantastic. Yeah. Well, during your Giving Tuesday drive, I hear you exceeded your goal.
We did, yes. I believe it was almost $10,000 that we were able to raise over the course of our Giving Tuesday drive. That's going to go and help hundreds of people and their pets. So we're so grateful. But we still need donations to keep our doors open, to keep helping the people in our community who love their pets and are just struggling to afford their veterinary care.
And I want to put up on the screen how people can donate, but you also have a physical location. And I know because since you're on the way to work, I have dropped off like old prescription bottles, right? Or old towels. So if people don't have the funds, what kind of physical donations do you also take?
Yes. So we rely on in-kind donations as well as monetary ones. We use anything that helps us save a little bit of money. So things like gently used towels, gently used pet carriers can help a lot of our clients who don't have those sort of things. Any sort of pet supplies. We've got a lovely little supply closet where people can come and get additional pet food or clothing for their pets or leashes, so that sort of thing. But we can also use basic office supplies, paper towels, Dawn dish soap, anything like that. It makes a small difference, and even small donations of even $2 can help someone afford a vaccine at our clinic.
Thank you so much for joining us. Again, the website for people to donate.
It's www.optionsveterinarycare.org.
And your address?
We're located at 4690 Longley Lane in Suite 1.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, thank you.
You're watching 2+U Nevada. A look at some of the fun you need to be aware of this weekend. The AVA Ballet Theater is presenting The Nutcracker at the Pioneer Center. Showings are tomorrow through Sunday. Principal dancers have performed with companies such as Ballet West, Kansas City Ballet, and the Diablo Ballet. They perform alongside a cast of local talent. You can find tickets on pioneercenter.com. This Saturday, there's a free breakfast with Santa at the Reno Public Market. Kids will be able to share their wishes, get a pic with Santa, and enjoy breakfast. This event is from 11 in the morning to 1 in the afternoon. You can also grab pictures with Santa at Reno Harley-Davidson this Saturday. That event is from 11 in the morning to 2 in the afternoon. Don't forget, the Reno Pops Orchestra's Festive Carols World Edition is Saturday evening at Nightingale Concert Hall, which is located within the Church Fine Arts Building. The performance starts at 7, doors open at 6:30. Bring your family and friends. Admission is free. If sports are more your thing, the 2025 Reno Tournament of Champions High School Boys Wrestling Invitational is at the Downtown Reno Events Center. It runs tomorrow and Saturday. Wrestling begins at 9 a.m. Tickets are available at the door. As we start to wrap up the year of 2025, we'll take a look at the events which stood out the past 12 months. From disc tracks to demon hunters, this year set the stage for an unforgettable round of entertainment. Gwen Baumgartner looks back. As we get closer to the holidays, we want to let you know that 2+U Nevada will be taking a holiday break the week of December 29th through January 2nd. We will be back on the air in the new year beginning January 5th. That's it for this edition of 2+U Nevada. Thank you for inviting us into your home this afternoon. We look forward to joining you every weekday at 3 for 2+U Nevada. 2 News Nevada at 4 starts now.